الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه ثم أما بعد. To proceed, in fact, for this particular talk, I thought that the number would be less than this, and everybody could pick up a mushaf and we could go over a few verses together. So I would still recommend for people to pick up musahaf. Everybody picks up a mushaf, and then we could go over a few verses together.
Yep.
So if we start from Surah Al-Anbiya, that's chapter number 21, verse 87. Surah Al-Anbiya, chapter 21, verse 87. What does it say? It says, وَذَنُّونِ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا فَظَنَّ أَن لَّن نَّقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَن لَّا إِلَٰهَ إِلَّا أَنتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ فاستجبنا له ونجيناه من الغم وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين. صح؟ These particular verses, if we want to navigate through hardship, these particular verses give us the first steps through this navigation. Certainly there is no hardship, no more distress than being in the stomach of the whale, right? You could imagine if you have been swallowed by a whale, how much hardship or distress you would feel. And in addition to this, the Nun had, so what the translation of these verses was the Nun. And remember, Zannun means the man of the fish, basically. Remember the man of the fish, or the companion of the fish. Wazannun means remember the man of the fish. إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا, when he left out in anger. When he left out in anger. He left his town, which is Nainawa, near Mosul in Iraq. He left them out. He left that town and went out in anger. إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه. And he thought that we will not decree against him. We will not decree something against him, something hard against him. Or he thought that we will not cause him distress, or he thought that we will not punish him. Or it may be also translated as, did he think that we will have no power over him? And the taqdeer here, or the implication here is that Allah is saying, أَفَظَنَّ أَلَّن نَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ. And then the alif was removed and it became only فَظَنَّ أَلَّن نَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ. أَفَظَنَّ أَلَّن نَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ. Did he think that we will have no power over him? وَذَنُّونِ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا, and remember the man of the fish when he went out, when he left in anger. فَظَنَّ أَلَّن نَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ. Did he think that we'll have no power over him? Or he thought that we will not decree something harsh against them. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ, and then he cried out to his Lord, or he invoked his Lord, or he invoked, and it did not say his Lord, it just said he invoked, and it would be implied that he would certainly invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his Lord. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ, because there is no one else to invoke in a time of distress but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even the mushrikun did not call out to anyone in the time of distress but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the hearts know at those times that there is no one to respond except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ, and he invoked his Lord in the darknesses. ظُلُمَات, darknesses. Because the word ظulma has never been mentioned in the Quran. It has never been mentioned in the singular form. It has always been mentioned only in the plural form. Darknesses. Because there are darknesses. But light has never been mentioned in a plural form in the Quran. It has always been mentioned in a singular form. An-Nur, Nur, not Anwar. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ, then he invoked his Lord in the darknesses. لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ, there is no God but you, Subhanak, glory be to you. إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ, إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ, I was one of the wrongdoers. Transgressors, oppressors, wrongdoers. Here it will mean I was one of the wrongdoers. إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ, and then came the response from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we responded to him. وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ, and we saved them or spared them from the distress that he was in, the grief that he was in. وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and likewise we save the believers, and likewise we save all the believers. So let's recite those verses together, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وذا النون إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. And then the response came immediate. فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ. Then we responded to him immediately. So it seems that the key is there, right? لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. And لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين is not simple. Don't take it simply. Don't just glance over it. You need to reflect on it. This has two components, right? لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك, there is no God but you, glory be to you. The first component is the recognition of Allah's presence, greatness, and deeming Allah above all deficiencies. So you're saying to Allah, you are not the one who violated the covenant, because you're deemed above this. The covenant is what? The covenant, إن تنصروا الله ينصركم. If you give victory to Allah, Allah will give you victory. The covenant, إن تنصروا الله فلا غالب لكم. If you give victory to Allah, no one will be able to defeat you. There will be no one given power over you. The covenant is من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة. Whoever does righteousness, whether he is a male or female, while in a state of belief, we will give him a good life. If you feel that you were not given that good life, if you feel that you have been defeated, whether in person or in group, nation, ummah, then it is important first to recognize that Allah does not violate promises, and Allah never violates His covenant. If there is someone breaching the covenant, every covenant comes in with two parties, right, to the covenant. Two parties to the covenant. Covenant is between Allah and you. Covenant is between Allah and the Ummah. So there is always two parties to the covenant. And if there is any breaching of the covenant, the first thing that you have to realize is that Allah did not breach it, because Allah does not breach His covenants, and Allah does not break His promises, and Allah never fails on a promise. So it is the recognition of Allah's greatness, Allah's power, and having good thoughts in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because subhanak, glory be to you, which could be translated exalted are you, glory be to you. Subhanak means I deem you above all deficiency, above all shortcomings, above all evil. So this is a recognition of the perfection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the absoluteness of His perfection. So you're saying that not only that you don't breach the covenants, but Subhanak has many meanings in it. Subhanak means that, you're the most merciful, because you're above the deficiency of cruelty. You're above the deficiency of forsaking your servant. You're above the deficiency of ignoring the plea of the petitioner when he invokes you. So you're above all of this. So when you say it, if you really say it like Yunus said it, with the recognition that Yunus had, with the humility that Yunus showed, Allah will relieve your distress like He relieved the distress of Yunus alayhi salam. So La ilaha illa anta subhanak, there is no God but you. Subhanak, glory be to you, exalted are you. And La ilaha illa ant, there are lots of meanings in La ilaha illa ant. Like I have no one but you. There is no one that I can rely on. There is no one that I can count on. There is no one that I can call for His help at this time except you. You're my only Lord. You're my only God. I have no one but you. And if we truly, if you say إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, with this feeling, I have no one but you. There is no one that I can count on but you. إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, only you do we seek help from. Only you do we ask for help. إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. If that is La ilaha illa ant. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ, only you do we worship, only you do we seek help from. That is what La ilaha illa ant means. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. I only worship you and I only count on you for help. And if we do say this in Al-Fatiha every day with a recognition, with a presence of the heart and a recognition of the heart, then we're saying La ilaha illa ant. That's Yunus said it, but in a different way. But if the heart is present and there is recognition while we say this, and that is important because that is the epic of the Fatiha, which is the epic of the Quran. And if in our salah we don't pause there for a second to think of what we're saying, then our salah could be a mayyita or a dead salah, because that does not have any spiritual power. It does not revive your soul because you're not thoughtful in your salah. At least the epic of the salah is Al-Fatiha, and the epic of the Fatiha is إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. So if you're absent-minded in other parts of your salah, at least pay attention when you say إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. This is basically the center, the focus of your salah. It's the pivotal point in your salah. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. So pay attention there when you recite those verses. So he said, لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. And we said the first one is a recognition of the presence and greatness of Allah, deeming Him above all deficiency, ascribing all beauty to Him, all greatness to Him, all perfection to Him, all mercy to Him, all knowledge to Him, all power to Him. Those are the things that are needed for a response. You need to call upon someone who's powerful, capable, merciful, compassionate, who hears you, who sees you, and who cares about you. And that is all implied in Subhanak. Subhanak. Exalted are you. And then إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ is a recognition. إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. I am one of the wrongdoers. I was one of the wrongdoers. And sometimes also when you reflect on the conditions of the Ummah, you could say, إِنَّا كُنَّا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ تتأول القرآن, maybe. With a slight modification in the recitation of the verse. It would not be Quran, it would be still dua. You say, إِنَّا كُنَّا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. We were wrongdoers. We, in reference to the entire Ummah. When you speak to Allah on behalf of the Ummah, you could say, لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إِنَّا كُنَّا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. We were of the wrongdoers. We transgressed ourselves. You did not breach the covenant. You did not break the promise because you're deemed above any of this. So, La ilaha illa anta subhanak. You see, in Surah Hud, Surah Hud is chapter number 11, verse number 80. We'll just stop there briefly, so you don't need to go there. Lut alayhi salam said, لو أن لي بكم قوة أو آوي إلى ركن شديد. Had I had power over you, or had I relied on a great support, or strong support, or had I been able to take myself to a strong source of support. Rukn shadid. Rukn is like a pillar or a pole, or, when you say arkan as-salah, that's the pillars of the prayers. So if there was like a rukn shadid, a strong support that I can rely on, that I can lean on, that I could seek for help. لو أن لي بكم قوة أو آوي إلى ركن شديد قالوا لقد علمت ما لنا في بناتك من حق وإنك لتعلم ما نريد قال لو أن لي بكم قوة أو آوي إلى ركن شديد. Had I had power against you, or had I been able to rely on, to lean on a source of support that is strong, that will protect me from you. Why did he say this? Because remember, Lut had emigrated with Ibrahim alayhi salam, his uncle Ibrahim alayhi salam. He had emigrated with him to those villages in Palestine, in current Palestine. They emigrated from Iraq. So Lut did not have a tribe or a clan to protect him from those people. He was an immigrant, a foreigner in this land. So he felt that he's cut off from, support, because he did not have a tribe or a clan to protect him. But Wahb ibn Munabbih said, فَوَجَدَ الرُّسُلَ عَلَيْهِ فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. That the Rusul, the messengers of Allah, the angels that went to Lut alayhi salam during this incident. We know this incident, right? When the angels came to Lut and they came in the form of beautiful men, and his people rushed to him because they used to be people of munkarat and obscene acts and he tried to basically protect his guests. He had not known yet that they were angels, and he tried to protect them, and his people did not, give him the courtesy of, protecting his guests. And they insisted on, him basically giving in those guests to them to do whatever they used to do. So he said this, and then the angels, they became resentful of that statement. They showed resentment towards him. قالوا يا لوط إن رسل ربك لن يصلوا إليك. They said, "O Lut, we are the messengers of your Lord. They will not be able to hurt you. They will have no access to you. They will have no power over you. Don't worry about us." They're saying to him, "لن يصلوا إليك," not "لن يصلوا إلينا." It is not, they will not hurt us. He was worried about them, that, So the angels said to him, لن يصلوا إليك. They will not hurt you. So don't worry about us. As for us, we are the messengers of your Lord. So you need not worry about us. Additionally, don't worry about yourself, because now you are in the protection of your Lord. So that Wahab ibn Munabbih said that the messengers felt somewhat resentful that Lut alayhi salam is actually saying this. He's actually saying, had I had power against you, or had I been able to take myself to a source of support, or to rely on, count on, lean on a source of strong support. Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said in a hadith that's reported by Bukhari and Muslim from Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu, "Yarhamullah akhi lutan laqad kana ya'wi ila ruknin shadid." May Allah have mercy on my brother Lut. He did have a source of great support. He did have a source of great support in reference to angels. Allah. Who are the angels? They're just tools. They're just agents. So if he did have a source of great support, Ar-Rukn al-Shadid here, that he thought he wished to have, he did have in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did have that source of great support in Allah, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even someone like a prophet can sometimes have those transient lapses of shuhudillah azza wa jal, or the complete feeling of the divine presence, or the recognition of the divine presence and the divine greatness. A short lapse in the perfect and complete feeling of the divine presence that gives you the power when you're surrounded. When you're surrounded, it gives you this power. And so Musa exhibited this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَمَّا تَرَأَى الْجَمْعَانِ قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ قَالَ كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعِيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينِ. Musa immediately, when the two large masses, the Israelites or children of Israel and the Egyptians, they were able to behold one another. They were able to tara al-jam'an. They can behold one another after Pharaoh caught on with the Israelites on their way out, and they had the sea in front of them, and they had the Pharaoh and his people behind them. They said, "Inna lamudrakun, we're caught. This is the sea. We have no ships. This is Pharaoh and his soldiers. We're caught." At that time, Musa alayhi salam, with complete reliance and recognition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let him down, he said, "Kalla inna ma'iya rabbi sayahdin." No, my Lord is with me, He will guide me. He will guide me out of this. And whatever comes out of it, whatever the outcome, he's just comfortable that he is now on a mission for his Lord. He will not let me down. He's the one who told me to go out. He's the one who told me to take you out. He's the one who guided me to this direction. How could I act upon his guidance, strictly act upon his guidance, follow his instructions, and then he lets me down? قال كلا إن معي ربي سيهدين. Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also said what? Something of that nature. When, لا تحزن لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Do not grieve. Allah is with us. Do not grieve. Allah is with us. That is when he was in the Ghar with Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and the mushrikeen, came all the way to the opening of the Ghar. And Abu Bakr said to them, if anyone looked, down a little bit, they will be able to see us and catch us. And the Prophet ﷺ said to him, لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Do not grieve, Allah with us. So that recognition, Allah is with us. Inna ma'ya Rabbi, Inna Allah ma'ana, Inna ma'ya Rabbi, my Lord is with me, is what you need, and that is La ilaha illa anta, there is no God but you, Subhanak, glory be to you above all deficiency. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin is the second part. And Inni kuntu min al-zalimin, we could talk about Inni kuntu min al-zalimin for days. I was one of the transgressors. So basically, without that recognition that you deserved the ibtila, that you have deserved the ibtila, without that recognition that it is your doing that made this ibtila befall you, made this distress, made this trial befall you, without this recognition, then you don't have all the teeth of the key. In order for this key to work perfectly well for you, like it worked for Yunus, you have to have all the components: the recognition, the feeling of the divine presence and greatness, compassion and power, and the recognition of your own deficiency, your own weakness, your own breaching of the covenant, your own breaking of the promise with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This recognition is not just a simple recognition, brothers. So when an ummah goes through hardship, this means like evaluation of our conditions. Where have we gone wrong? Where have we gone wrong? Because if the ummah is afflicted, or like a great distress befalls the ummah, then the ummah will need in its entirety to reflect on its own reality and to say to itself, where have we gone wrong? And then come up with a list, because a simple violation, a simple infraction of the law would not make you deserving of all of this. You must have done so much that is wrong. You must have gone so far from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deserve all of those trials and all of those, tribulations. Then it is extremely important that we do this, but it is extremely important that we do it with humility. So everybody will calm down. Don't be haughty, don't be arrogant, don't be forceful, don't think that you have the right answers. Because all of what is happening is for you to show humility. So if, everybody will start to say, here is where we have gone wrong, and because now, because you guys are not listening to me, we're going to continue to be doomed, and we're going to continue, to deserve destruction. Well, that is the counter effect, that is the counter of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects of you at this time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-An'am, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمَمٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ فَأَخَذْنَاهُمْ بِالْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَضَرَّعُونَ فَلَوْلَا إِذْ جَاءَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا تَضَرَّعُوا وَلَكِنْ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمَمٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ, we have sent to nations before you. فَأَخَذْنَاهُمْ بِالْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ, so we seized them with hardship and distress. We seized them with hardship and distress. Why? What is the purpose? What is the purpose? And if you're asking yourself, so what is the purpose of all of this? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَضَرَّعُونَ, that they may show humility. Are we showing humility? Personally, are we showing humility to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Collectively, are we showing humility to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is something that we should ask ourselves. So you invoke on Allah with humility and recognition of your own deficiencies. Not only a recognition of your own deficiencies, but a plan for, reform, to change your own conditions by reform. And reform, when it comes to Islam, reform means restoration, right? Reform, when it comes to Islam, means what? Restoration. To restore the original picture. The most beautiful picture of this religion and this ummah was taken at the time of the Prophet ﷺ and his companions. Restoration of the original picture is what we mean by reform. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَضَرَّعُونَ. So when our ba's befell them, تَضَرَّعُوا فَلَوْلَا إِذْ جَاءَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا, had they shown humility when our hardship befell them, but no, they did not. وَلَكِنْ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ, their hearts became hardened. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, and the shaitan make beautiful to them in their sight their own doing. The shaitan beautified their own doing for them or in their sight. Finally, you go back and you realize that there are two parts here. Recognition of the greatness of Allah, feeling the presence of Allah, and recognition of your deficiency. But which part is greater? For anything that has two components, there usually is a greater component. The greater component is certainly about Allah, not about you. It is your recognition of Allah being the one capable of relieving your distress, removing your hardship, and that He is compassionate enough to want to do that, and that He is able to hear you when you call upon Him. So if you go to Surah An-Naml, that is chapter 27, verse 62. An-Naml is 27, right? Yeah? Verse 62. What does it say? So let's read this together, inshallah. So Surah An-Naml and chapter 27, verse 62. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون أَمَّن يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون. If you just glance over the verses before it, it also provides you with a greater context, a larger context. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started by showing us His signs in the creation of the universe prior to these verses, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to introduce to these verses by showing us His power, His omnipotence, His greatness. Before these verses, the verses about His signs in the creation of the universe, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَمَّا يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ, or who will respond, answer the distress when He invokes Him. Who will answer the distressed when He invokes Him? Yujib answers, al-muttar, the distressed, إِذَا دَعَاهُ, when He invokes Him. وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوء. وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوء means removes the hardship or removes the evil. Or yakshif means what? Uncovers. Right? Doesn't yakshif mean uncover? Yeah. So as-su is evil. As if the evil and that had befallen you is like a cover. It completely covers you. It makes you feel that there is no exit, there is no way out. There is no light at the end of the tunnel because you're covered. It has surrounded you and it is on top of you. And it is Allah only that can uncover, lift up the evil so that you could see your way from here. وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوء وَيَجْعَلُكُمْ خُلَفَاءَ الْأَرْضِ, and makes you His agents on earth, or makes you the basically controllers, owners of the planet Earth, generation after generation, gives you power, the power to subdue that which is on the planet. وَيَجْعَلُكُمْ خُلَفَاءَ الْأَرْضِ, gives you ownership of the land, generation after generation. أَإِلَهٌ مَّعَ اللَّهِ, is there God beside Allah? And that is this is repeated in these verses. At the end of the verses, أَإِلَهٌ مَّعَ اللَّهِ. It is an invitation for reflection. Reflect. All of this around you, no one claimed ownership of it except Allah. It is only Allah, the God that sent Ibrahim and Musa and Isa and Muhammad. He is the only one that claimed ownership of it. And if, the one who's capable of this creation is capable of removing your distress, and no one else is. أَإِلَهٌ مَّعَ اللَّهِ, is there a God beside Allah? قَلِيلًا مَا تَذَكَّرُونَ, little that you become heedful, or little that you remember. Little that you remember. So let's just recite those verses one more time. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله أإله مع الله أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون. And it would be appropriate now that you say, no, there is not. It is appropriate now that we all say, La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. And to end this beautifully, I would ask Sheikh Fuad to come and recite a few verses from the Quran to make you up for my bad voice. Inshallah. Sheikh, like it. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
يقرأ قول الحمد لله يا شيخ من بداية الصبح تكون جميلة. الله يكرمك.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأيوب إذ نادى ربه أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين. فاستجبنا له فكشفنا ما به من ضر وآتيناه أهله ومثلهم معهم رحمة من عندنا وذكرى للعابدين. وإسماعيل وإدريس وذا الكفل كل من الصابرين وأدخلناهم في رحمتنا إنهم من الصالحين. وذا النون إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين فاستجبنا له ونجيناه من الغم وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين صدق الله العظيم.